The Honourable Member Strathmore Brooks, followed by Calgary Cross.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Strathmore Hospital has the second busiest rural emergency room in the province. Since constructed in 1985, the hospital has not been modified or expanded. The emergency room sees 31 to 33,000 patients every year. AHS's own capital plan says, I quote, "Many of these facilities are functionally and physically obsolete, creating increased health and safety issues." To the Minister of Infrastructure, when are you going to fix this?
Well, Mr. Speaker, here we go again, asking for more. They want new hospitals, they want new schools, they want to cut the budget, Mr. Speaker. They just keep asking for things. Mr. Speaker, 1985 isn't that old of a building. There's lots of hospitals and schools way older than that, Mr. Speaker. And health service, whether they believe it or not, Mr. Speaker, they don't seem to believe anything we say, but Alberta Health Services is given a budget to maintain their facilities. They're given plenty of money a year from infrastructure. It's up to those, Alberta Health, to maintain their school or hospital.
Member.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And given that the population of Strathmore has grown 3 to 4 times since it was built in 1985, and given that in 2006 the Health Region study recommended significant expansion to the emergency room, acute care, laboratory and diagnostic imaging, and given that since this report the hospital has not received any new capital funding to expand, when is the Minister going to address this critical need?
Honourable Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we are very well aware as a government of the growth in the Strathmore area, and in fact, as I've discussed with people locally, Strathmore has become a regional centre for healthcare that's serving a large number of residents who are in the southern part of Calgary. Mr. Speaker, there's been great progress in preparing for expansion for Strathmore for the future. A brand new continuing care facility recently opened on land adjacent to the hospital. 30 residents who lived in the Strathmore Hospital in long-term care are moving to that brand new facility, making room for future expansion. Mr. Speaker, we're certainly on this issue.
Honourable Member.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I look forward to having some more conversations with this Minister. But given that AHS has also confirmed that the Strathmore Hospital is number 2 on the Calgary Zone's priority list, so to the Minister, how is it that a hospital of this size is an AHS priority but is nowhere to be found on the government's capital plan?
Honourable Minister of Infrastructure.
Well, Mr. Speaker, as my colleague just said, we work closely with the Alberta Health and Alberta Health Services on their priorities, and you know, it's number 2 in your area, so it's not number 1. And Mr. Speaker, there's a whole big province there with lots of demands, with high-growing areas. I'll guarantee you there's areas growing just as faster than that area, Mr. Speaker, and we're trying to build Alberta as fast as we can with infrastructure, and these guys keep saying that we're building too fast, too much, and now they want us to build more. It's hard to understand what they're asking for.